All right. Ever feel like you're just kind of, playing catch up with life?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's got to be a faster way to level up your existence.
Yeah.
Well, buckle up because today we're diving into a tier list.
Yeah.
Methods of human ascension that someone out there created.
Okay.
Yep. Someone ranked ways to achieve enlightenment like it's a video game.
Wow. That's
Wild, right?
it's a fascinating concept, isn't it? Ranking these methods, I don't know, it kind of speaks volumes about our desire for progress. For reaching a higher state of being. Like
Yeah.
we inherently crave that level up notification, even in spirituality.
Absolutely. And this list does not disappoint. It starts pretty grounded with Tier C,
Okay.
featuring the usual suspects. Meditation, hitting the gym,
Mhm.
therapy. Basically, the stuff most of us know is good for us,
Yeah.
even if we don't do it consistently.
Exactly. See, I think it's refreshing to see a list acknowledge that even small, even practical steps towards self-improvement, they can feel like climbing a mountain in our daily lives.
Yeah.
It's about those little victories, those moments when you choose mindfulness over mayhem.
So my morning jog counts toward ascension.
Oh, chuckles.
I knew it. But it does make you wonder, are we talking about actual enlightenment here or just feeling less stressed on a Tuesday?
That's the beauty of this list, right? It blurs the lines between personal growth and these grand, mystical ideas of ascension. It's almost like each tier is a step towards understanding what ascending even means.
I like that. Okay, so Tier C is about conquering, everyday challenges. What about Tier B? This is where it starts to feel a little more, shall we say, mystical.
Definitely. We're moving from purely physical or mental practices into the realm of spirituality and exploring, different beliefs.
Right.
Think yoga, exploring different religions, even things like fasting for spiritual clarity. It's about seeking a deeper meaning, a connection to something bigger than ourselves.
Well, my friend who swears by yoga retreats, maybe she is onto something with this whole ascension thing.
Mhm.
But before we get too comfortable in downward dog, we've got Tier A on the horizon, and this is where things take a turn.
For the really interesting...
You took the words right out of my mouth. Suddenly, we're talking shamanic journeys, astral projection, even alchemy. It's like someone cracked open a fantasy novel and sprinkled it into our self-help guide.
What's fascinating is how the list blends those ancient traditions with modern ideas, like transhumanism. It's a reflection of how our understanding of spirituality and consciousness is constantly evolving.
It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I'm already feeling a little out of my depth, and we haven't even gotten to the S tier yet. I think I need a minute to meditate on all this. Or maybe just another cup of coffee.
Ready to jump back in.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Got my cosmic dictionary ready things. We're getting pretty high level at the end there.
I hear you. Remember how Tier A had us venturing into shamanic journeys and the like?
Right. Like just a casual Tuesday.
Well, Tier S is where even I have to pause and take a deep breath.
Tier S. Okay, even the name sounds intimidating.
Yeah.
Like it belongs in some exclusive club where they only serve enlightenment and cosmic secrets.
You could say that.
So what are we talking about here? Things even more out there than astral karaoke night.
The S tier is where things become less about, tangible practices and more about achieving states of being that have captivated spiritual seekers for centuries. We're talking nirvana, moksha, satori, profound states of enlightenment.
Right.
That are just notoriously difficult to even define, let alone achieve.
Okay, so less I manifested a parking spot through positive affirmations, and more I dissolved my ego and became one with the universe.
Exactly.
That's my vocabulary just went on a permanent vacation.
It's true, these concepts really push the limits of language and logic. How do you explain a state of being that's said to be beyond words, beyond thought, maybe even beyond experience itself? It's a bit like trying to describe the taste of water to someone who's never even had a drink.
And imagine trying to explain that in a performance review.
Yeah, my biggest weakness is I haven't quite achieved cosmic unity yet. You know how it is. It's got to work on my satori.
You'd probably get a puzzled look from HR, that's for sure.
That.
But joking aside, what I find fascinating about the S tier is that even though we struggle to articulate these experiences, there's a persistent human desire to reach for them. It speaks to our yearning for something beyond the everyday, a connection to something greater than ourselves.
And some pretty intense practices are associated with trying to reach those states, right?
Right. This list mentions Kundalini awakening. Isn't that where you activate some inner energy? But it can go haywire if you're not careful.
It is.
Sounds a bit like a spiritual microwave, super efficient, but potentially dangerous if misused.
That's a great analogy. Kundalini awakening is often described as this powerful surge of energy rising up the spine.
Oh, wow.
Leading to profound spiritual experiences, even altered states of consciousness.
Wow.
Imagine a dormant energy within you suddenly coming to life, totally reshaping your perception of reality. But, as with any powerful force, approaching it without proper guidance and preparation can lead to difficulties, both psychological and physical.
So like any good video game, there are consequences for trying to cheat your way to the top level.
Precisely.
Makes sense, I guess.
It highlights why these traditions often emphasize years of dedicated practice, discipline, and guidance from experienced teachers. It's not just about the destination, but the transformation that unfolds along the way.
Which is probably a healthy approach to most things in life, not just trying to reach enlightenment. But speaking of journeys, I think it's time we brace ourselves for the final level, the one that has existential crisis written all over it, the broken tier. Ready to have our minds blown. All right, so we've climbed the ladder of enlightenment from like meditation newbies to almost cosmic beings.
Right.
But now we're stepping into the broken tier.
Yeah.
It sounds less like spiritual enlightenment and more like that moment in a video game where you find a glitch in the matrix and suddenly anything is possible.
Yeah, it's a fitting name, wouldn't you say? The broken tier is where the list goes completely off the rails, shattering our conventional understanding of reality.
Okay.
We're not just talking, altered states,
Right.
but concepts that make you question the very fabric of existence.
Hit me with it. What kind of mind-bending stuff are we talking about at this level?
Imagine ascending to, multi-dimensional planes, becoming beings of pure energy or information.
Okay.
Maybe even merging with a universal consciousness.
Yeah.
Like a drop of water rejoining the ocean.
Okay, so picture Neo from The Matrix, but instead of dodging bullets, he's sipping cosmic tea and having a philosophical debate with a supercomputer.
Right?
I'm trying to wrap my head around this, I really am. But even with all that, there's a broken tier of the broken tier. Seriously, how do you even go beyond becoming a multidimensional being of pure consciousness?
That's where this list takes a truly fascinating turn. It dives into these paradoxical, almost impossible to grasp concepts. Imagine reaching a level of understanding where you realize that the very idea of ascension, the striving, the seeking, is itself an illusion.
Wait, what? So I could spend my entire life meditating in a cave, decoding ancient texts, maybe even having a few too many existential conversations with trees.
Yeah.
And it's all for nothing.
Not necessarily for nothing. Remember, even the list acknowledges the value of the journey itself, the insights and growth we experience along the way. This final tier seems to suggest that even our most profound spiritual aspirations, even the idea of reaching a higher plane, are still limited by our human perception.
So it's like reaching the final level of the game only to realize that the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. I mean, it's a nice sentiment and all, but I was kind of hoping for cosmic superpowers.
I think a lot of us can relate to that. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? It's not about finding definitive answers, but about grappling with these profound questions. The list is less of a roadmap and more of a funhouse mirror, reflecting back our very human need to make sense of the universe and our place within it.
That's a really interesting way to put it. We're wired to seek meaning, purpose, even a little bit of magic in the world. So where does that leave us? Are we forever chasing illusions, or is there something more to this whole ascension thing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I don't think there's one right answer. But maybe that's okay. Maybe the real journey isn't about reaching some predetermined destination, but about constantly exploring, questioning, and pushing the boundaries of our understanding.
Deep stuff. So to our listener out there who might be feeling a little overwhelmed right now, what would you say? Should they book that one-way ticket to a meditation retreat, or just focus on being a little kinder to themselves today?
I'd say listen to that inner voice, that intuition, what resonates with you, what makes you curious. Follow that thread, explore it with open-minded skepticism and a healthy dose of humor.
And hey, maybe don't try to achieve enlightenment by next Tuesday.
Right.
Some journeys are best taken one step, one deep breath, one existential question at a time.
Beautifully said. And who knows, maybe that's the real broken tier hack. Embracing the mystery and enjoying the ride.
This has been quite the deep dive, and we've only just scratched the surface. What resonated with you most? What questions did this spark for you? Let us know. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, even if it's all an illusion, it's still a pretty amazing journey we're on.